What is up, good people? You're tuning back into the Sinusoidal Podcast with me, Prince Charizard. This is episode 4, and this episode is sponsored by Muso Soup. If you're looking for an all-in-one solution to market your music, make it reach the right people, look no further than Muso Soup. We have another very special guest this episode. If you are an OG rocker from India, if you're a metalhead and you've grown up in India, you've definitely heard of the name The Down Troddence. From bagging 8 awards from Rolling Stones for their debut album, all the way to the present day when they're coming out with their second album, AYAKTIHIS, there's a lot to be discovered, there's a lot to talk about with this guest. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Munz from TDT. Without any further ado, let's get into it. We have with us Munz.
Yeah.
One of the OGest of rockers. Munz, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Very big, cloudy and rainbow weather kind of morning, right? So how was your drive?
It was peaceful. My office is nearby. So
Right.
from Whitefield to HSR, I always drive.
Nice.
But it's very hectic. But on a Sunday morning, it's a beautiful drive. And it's drizzling a little bit. And classic Bangalore weather.
Classic, man.
I love it.
I like to start things off spicy and intense, okay? Like, you have to directly jump into it.
Yeah.
Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I'm both.
Yeah.
I love them. But I have 4 cats at home.
Right.
But my cousin has a dog. Her name is Berry.
So
And
sweet.
she's the sweetest. And
Yeah.
all my friends, all my best friend has like at least one dog at their house.
Yeah.
So I'm chill with them. But
Chill with
cats,
both.
it's a different vibe.
Mhm.
I love having them around and just taking care of them and
Oh, that's
bugging them bugging me.
yeah. With cats, it's
Yeah, today morning, like I was about to come here, and Susie, my partner, she called me
Yeah.
and said, "Dude, Zuzu is missing."
Oh, no.
So I had to drive back,
Oh,
back,
man.
and by the time I reached, she found her.
Oh, okay.
She's like the chubby one. She
Always. She's always leading the
Yeah.
antics with the other cats. So.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs aside,
Mm.
you have been vocal about how your family's been supportive, right?
Yeah,
And we're flashing back a little bit here. We're going
Yeah.
back to Munz's childhood.
Yeah,
And I know you've shared with us before that your family was very supportive of your music,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
itself is a pretty rare thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, at that time especially.
Right, yeah.
When I was
Especially
growing
at that
up,
time.
that was, it's weird, no? Like in a village in Kannur,
yeah.
having a metal band and dressing up differently
Yeah.
than other kids in the town. It was weird, and still they didn't understand like what exactly we were
Right.
doing, because at least now we have a portfolio.
Huh.
Like now when I'm telling my parents, they understand and they respect. But at that time, they were like, "What is this?"
What are you doing? Where is this going?
They're like, "Okay, we will let you do what you want to do, but we are not getting this though."
Oh.
But they fully supported, man. Like now, the respect I'm giving to my parents now, it's
Yeah.
even increased a lot, because now I understand at this age, I'm 35-year-old now. At this age, I realize my parents being in their 40s and they had to put up with this. Now I come, because
Perspective.
imagine like a bunch of guys like 6-7 guys always in the house and always asking for food and always making noise and coming and going, like even in like early morning we are practicing, and it's,
Yeah.
even neighbors,
Yeah.
they had to put up with this. Yeah, even they didn't know. Like for neighbors, it's every day, because I get into the bathroom and I sing,
Yeah.
and they know Munnu is in the bathroom.
Do you have any theories behind like why it was easier for your amma and appa and of course your neighbors and everyone around you to be more open to that fact? Because like you said, they may not get it, but
Yeah.
they still were like, okay, kids are doing something. It's almost like that faith
Yeah.
you have in.
Yeah. So I think for my parents, what happened? So Amma, she's an actor.
Right.
And she'd been in theater for like a very long,
Yeah.
very, very long time. And she's a renowned artist also there in Kerala,
Wow.
even in South India for that
Yeah.
matter, in theater. And Appa, he's a musician also.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he's a tablaist and he played triple drums and everything.
Whoa.
So they were, and also like my Appa Amma got married in a very revolutionary
Oh, really?
kind of an impactful thing happened in my family, and
Wow.
I mean both of their family, etc. They were like some kind of a rebel.
Wow.
So
What was?
they were like
Would you like to share?
misfits and outlaws.
Right.
So they kind of gave me that kind of an empowerment even when I was a kid.
Nice.
They never asked me to go to a temple or follow this
Yeah.
religion or anything like that. They're into like proper left side, like CPIM,
Right.
like hardcore communist.
Yeah.
But they never forced anything on me. They asked me to go whichever way
Yeah.
you want to go. Because when I was studying in 10th, I mean, I'm surrounded with bunch of Muslim boys in Kerala,
The
like
area.
where I live.
Yeah.
And I was always fascinated with the entire Islamism,
Wow.
like the Islamic way of things.
Yeah.
And I, then in +1, +2, I studied Islamic history. Yeah, so I wanted to convert to Islamism.
Oh, wow, that's so
Yeah, I
intense.
wanted to be a Muslim
Yeah.
boy. And I've been telling them, like, I wanted to do this. And my sister, she was studying in a Christian school. And she also got really fascinated with,
Wow.
Christianity. And she was not convert, but she will be always, like,
Following
praying
the
before the food
meal
and before she's going to the bed. And she was completely fascinated. And my parents were, like, absolutely chill with it.
Dude, that's so
And they were like, yeah, if
amazing.
you want to do, you want to do.
You do it.
Then I got into college. Then I got into SFI and student politics and all of that.
Right.
Then my ideology changed, and I wanted to be like, I was into atheism and all of that stuff
Yeah.
at that time. They were again chill with it, like
Just explore it.
completely okay with it. So I think, yeah, they were like pretty open even at that time. Now it's a little more cool, man. I don't know how the new kids can understand what I'm trying to say, because at that time the way of life was very different.
It was.
For people like me, right?
Absolutely.
Like, right after school, you need to get like high marks, and then you go to engineering or medicine.
Yeah.
And everybody, and I wanted to study something different, and they supported me there also. Like, they were like, you do whatever you want to do, man. Like, and when I got into design, they were like, yeah, whatever you want to do,
That is
They
so
are
nice,
pretty
man.
chill.
Allowed you to
Parents,
explore
yeah,
life,
yeah,
just
absolutely.
no right or
Yeah,
wrong, no
yeah.
this or that. And
Yeah, and my neighbors, where I'm coming from, there is some kind of a brotherhood,
Right.
like and the neighbors are like, everyone, my neighbors comes to our kitchen first. Like, this is that
got
kind of
it.
relation. Even I go to
Yeah.
their kitchen, I
Yeah.
eat something from there, and it's all like, very connected.
it's like a big family
Yeah.
kind of.
So everyone knows what exactly the other person is going through, what they are trying to do,
Yeah.
what's their thing. For
Right.
example, Appa will do. So Appa used to be a triple drummer for a troupe. He used to make rehearsals
Yeah.
in my house. And it's so loud. It's not just triple drums. There is tabla, there is keyboard, there is guitar, there is bass, and there is, sometimes there's another 2 tabla players, and veena might be there. It's like a band. They call themselves a troupe.
Yeah.
They didn't have a name. It's just Madhu and team, which is my father, Madhu and team. So, and their rehearsals might go like from morning till evening and blasting. And neighbors were chill with it. So they were supporting a cause, and we have like another neighbor nearby who plays chenda. And when they do it, we are also chill with it.
You're like, yeah,
And sometimes
it's nice.
nearby we have like a lot of cousins living together, and they will have some cinematic dance rehearsal or
Whoa.
something, and they will also blasting the music and rehearsing outside sometimes.
That's so cool.
And everyone is chill with it. So
this is some very
yeah.
musical neighborhood that,
I think in
artsy.
North Malabar, in Kannur especially, we support the folklore scene very much, and it's there in every every community has their own art form. Some people do Purakuli, some people do Kathakali, some people do Teyyam, some people do Dafmut. Every religion and every community, caste, everyone has like some art form happening.
Wow.
So
And
So-
they're all doing it together.
Yeah,
They're
and,
celebrating.
yeah, and when there is like, we call it Ulsavam. It's like a festival which happens in temples and stuff.
Huh.
There will be Theyyam happening. There will be like some Ganamela happening. Like, Ganamela is like a gig.
Wow.
It's like a concert, and they play. I mean, they come and cover Malayalam songs and
Yeah,
Hindi songs
classics
and
and-
sometimes English songs also.
Wow, that would be very
it's,
cool.
It's nice, and people go there and dance and crazy. And there is theatre. Kerala, especially in North Kerala, respect theatre a lot. There is like a lot of theatre. It's crazy, man. every Vayanashala, which is like a library, we have like library every corner in Kannur, every corner, bro.
That is beautiful. man.
Every corner we have like
Yeah.
libraries,
Yeah.
and these libraries and clubs, they spend a lot of money and effort for art.
Wow.
Their Varshiga Agosham means like, every year they will have like one event happening. And
Annual.
that event, there will be like, 2-day, 3-day drama happening, like, or some dance thing happening.
full-on
like,
festival.
full-on.
Man.
And every people in the town will participate in it.
That's actually
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful. So it's like a lot of art happening in the place you were growing up already.
This is in the evening, right? In the morning, there will be like, poem competition,
Wow.
essay competition. Then
Yeah.
art.
Did
Kannur
you
is
try
crazy,
any of the other? I know you tried tabla, I think, for a little bit. You learned
Dude,
from.
every 2 months, as in like in the summer vacation, my appa amma will take me.
Yeah.
They will ask me like, "What do you want to do?" Because they don't. Appa is a tabla player, but he never wanted to push that on me.
Oh man.
So appa will
that's
be
so
like,
nice.
"What do you want to do?" And I will be like, "I want to learn chanda." Then for 2 months I will go for chanda, and I will stop it after. Then I went for keyboard.
Yeah.
I was into dance like Bharatanatyam and everything for like
Wow.
3-4 years, bro. Then
Munz
I
doing
tried
it.
like a lot of other instruments also.
Yeah.
Then I stopped in between.
Right.
So I thought like I was not really good with
Yeah.
music.
But
Then
do you know
I-
when this was? Around like how old you were around the
Like
time
from
when you said
first
stop?
standard to 10th standard plus one till 8th standard, I was like trying out music, and it was not really happening.
Yeah.
Then when I was in plus 2, I think that's when I started listening to a lot of
That's when your
English
friend
music.
Shani.
Yeah,
was
Shani.
the- Yes, Shani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shani is no more, by the way.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, last December,
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. He gone. I mean,
Yeah.
we were together, and 10-15 minutes he had like a heart attack, and
Oh man.
and
you
I
were
was with him
That-
in my house, and
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he was with me. Dude, the thing
It's
is that when he gone, he's been my childhood friend. As in, like
yeah.
the time I properly remember when I was in like 3rd standard, 4th standard, he's been with me,
Shit.
like my elder brother,
Yeah.
and he's been my reference point. All my life I was trying to impress him in
Damn.
some way.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who told me that I could sing for the first time. He's the one who taught me how to ride a bicycle, to a bike, to a car, to everything. This guy taught me about Metallica, and he gave me the first Backstreet
The
Boys cassettes. And
yeah.
so all my life I was just trying to impress him. I want to like all the music what he likes, and when he stopped listening to metal and got into Pink Floyd and stuff,
Yeah.
I was getting into that because I
Right.
wanted to impress him. Then suddenly, when now that he's gone, I feel like one of my reference point and because he's been a witness throughout my life. Apart from my
this
mom
kid.
and dad, no one else seen me like this long. All my transition and where I am right now. And these days I've been listening to a lot of new metal and a lot of things what I used to listen to back in like 2005
really
to
nice.
2011.
Throwback.
Yeah. And all the time I'm listening to Linkin Park or Limp Bizkit, Slipknot. I remember every time I heard this track with him in multiple places. Throughout the years, like in my entire childhood, it's been just that. We sitting in a room and listening to music. That's all we used to do. We go to different places. We take bike ride and take car and drive and go somewhere and do the
Listen
same
to
thing.
music.
Listen to music. Before the album, we
Yeah.
were working on the first album lyric videos.
Right.
So Shani was there in my house when I was editing these videos. And he heard the track. I had to proofread the lyrics. So I had to play the album from first to 10th.
Oh man, that's a whole run.
Then he was there and he heard all the track. Then the next week, I was doing the lyric video for the second album because for the
Ah,
listening party.
Right.
And I was editing that, and he was also there in the sofa when I was editing it. He heard the entire thing, and he told me, like, dude, how awesome it is, like listening to music itself was like something grateful, being part of that culture and understanding this music these guys are playing, like
Yeah.
Metallica and Bon Jovi to Linkin Park and all these Opeth and all these bands. That itself is something which is way
amazing.
beyond our league from considering where we are coming from.
Yeah.
Then being in a band,
Making that music. Man.
and we listening to that thing again. So he was telling me how awesome it is for people
Man.
like us who's coming from Kannur and doing this.
It's just the power of listening together, when two people can have that connect. And because nowadays, dude, there are so much songs we don't even. When was the last time? I don't remember. Someone said, "I'm happy to be able to just listen to this music."
Yeah. After
had
this
the time
incident,
you
I
did.
started looking at all my relationship and the
Yeah.
people I have beef with or they have beef with me.
Oh my God,
I've been keep
man.
thinking about it. Maybe I should call everyone and
Yeah.
just clear things out, man. If something happens to me or them,
Yeah. God
I
forbid.
don't want to have, because now I understand what it feels like something like this
Man.
happening, because I was not trained for it. I
Yeah.
have seen shit in movies.
I don't think any one of us, until you experience it, it's. Yeah. I mean, I can only just try to grasp what you're saying. It's something that you would have. Yeah. Okay. Picking back up into
Yeah.
Kannur. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing so much, you're exploring so many arts and crafts growing up in this area. Was it still a little bit different for people? Like, would you say that they've seen, arts and the art forms that you spoke about, Theyyam and Kathakali and all, but metal would have still been, like, was that there? That some aspect of people are just looking at you guys like, boys, what are you doing? Are you just chilling? Or just being maybe something like a novelty kind of a thing? Is that? Was
No,
that there?
it was always been supportive.
Wow, man,
I'll tell you a
that's
story.
beautiful.
Like, so Mahi,
Right.
where Nichu is staying,
Uh-huh.
it's a place where we jam sometimes.
Yeah.
I stay in a place called Taliparamba. So from Taliparamba, I take my Santro car. I go pick up Varun, who stays like 10 kilometers away from me. From there, we go and pick Rinoy. Then from there, another 5-6 kilometers to Mahi. So it's around like 40 kilometers.
It's one
right?
road trip.
So yeah, we all, and we do this every day, bro. Whenever we can. This is when we were like kids, right?
Yeah.
And when we were jamming and we were like going full attitude.
Yeah.
As in, like, I will be like wearing like, some,
Paint.
kajal and, like full black.
Yeah, all
thing
the
here.
metalhead
And I
vibes.
have like, like this pipe.
Oh, right, yeah.
Thing. I was like underground all the way. But we were just a bunch of innocent kids.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, that's what you're.
and one time, and imagine like everyone, Nichu has like, spring hair, like Ganesh has like long hair. Everyone looks like so badass.
Metalheads.
Metalheads. And I mean, we jam, then we come to a normal restaurant and we are trying to eat nature and chicken curry. Okay? And while coming back, we took a wrong turn or something,
Oh, no.
and cops, and they stopped the car and they looked at us and they were like, "What's going on? Okay, take the car to the station." And even then, I'm sure they never heard of metal or metal
Obviously,
bands
like,
or
yeah.
anything. Mahi police,
Yeah.
and they are asking us like, "What is this?"
What do you guys do?
Yeah. Then we are telling them, "Sir, this is called metal music. It's like Ganamela, music troupe, but different. We are, talking about, war, and we are talking about anti-drugs." And they were like, "Anti-drugs?
You
nice."
guys are.
You look like,
that
drug
profiling
lords,
is
but-
there, yeah.
But good, okay, like your intention. We don't, and we played some of the jam videos.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything else released at that time.
Right.
So we showed some jam videos and like, good stuff, man,
Oh,
good
nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
This
Wow,
is just
man.
one incident.
I wanted to ask you if there were any other projects. Was there anything that you explored before Down Troddence and any kind of other creative project?
No, actually,
Yeah?
my first contact with anything musically possible was with Varun.
Wow.
Varun is the person who opened up music entirely for me. Shani is the person who gave me the influence by introducing this genre to me.
Yeah.
But Varun was the person who showed me that in real life, this is how it is. Sound like,
Man.
this is how you hold the guitar. This is
How you play.
how you play. And since then, TDT always been my only main project.
Nice.
Very recently, I started exploring other things. Recently, I sang a song in a Malayalam movie called Avesham.
Avesham.
And it was fun. It was still with Sushin. Then I sang another song with Taikudam Brid's guitarist, the vocalist Govind, the violinist Govind. And he done a movie called Bromance, and I sang a song there also. So that's something which I explored.
Industry is taking it nicely, like the growling, the metal vocals.
Certain situation requires growling, and they started. Malayalam music always been exploring some very experimental stuff.
Seriously.
So that was something good. Then with Spaces All We Have, Bangalore band Boys Are Killers.
Yeah.
And they called me for a feature. We have released a song called Broken. Yeah. Now I'm exploring a little bit. I'm working with a Canadian guitarist.
Whoa.
And we are working on an album.
Hey, that's
and I'm
really
bringing
cool.
some other friends from India for that project.
Dude,
also.
that's damn
it's
cool.
a studio project, but it's the genre and the heaviness of that thing is on a different level, very different from TDT.
Could you tell us the name of the artist? Is it
yeah,
sensitive?
I'll keep. I mean, we are planning some stuff, and
Not yet.
we will be announcing it soon.
Cool.
I mean, he's also it's not like a very famous person or anything.
That's okay.
We both are in the scene kind of people. But yeah.
That sounds fun. So that will be Munz with said Canadian
and some
artist.
friends
And friends.
Yeah,
that's always fun, man.
Yeah,
You jam
different
it together.
vocalists I always wanted to get collaborated with, things like that. And with TDT also, we have around 8 more track in the pipeline.
Yeah, we're
very
waiting.
excited. Next song is called Binary Sun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
after that we have another track coming, which is going to be like a good surprise for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So a bunch of things are coming. So
man,
very excited, man.
Very excited because I think you guys had 10 tracks in total for AYAKTIHIS, right? We've seen and heard 2 of them so far. So
talking about another project which never happened was me, Nikhil from Chaos, and Shrauti from Inner Sanctum. He also plays for Chaos now, and with Hanuman Kind.
Oh,
and
wow.
We were all planning to work on a collaboration. That is the time when Suraj, he just came to Bangalore and Sangeet introduced him to me, and he came to my house and we were doing some
that would have been cool.
Yeah, and we've been in touch for a very long time, and we were planning. At that time, he also wanted to get into. He was working on his first EP, Kalari, at that time.
Oh, wow.
And he's been sending track to me, and I was giving feedback, and I was like, "This guy is really good. Maybe we could do something."
Man.
So I wanted to start like a rap metal kind of
that would be amazing, man.
thing. Yeah.
Was this after Big Dogs or was this before Big Dogs? I think
this
that's
is way before Big Dogs.
Right.
Big Dogs is like very recent.
Yeah.
This is like when he started.
Obviously, I think the one question that fans would have thrown at you a lot is, when is the next album? When is it coming? And when are we waiting before this, until this year?
Yeah.
I think a really fun place for us to start would be how many versions did all the tracks go through in this time duration?
Yeah, dude. And, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to release this album first because that's our focus right now.
Yeah, naturally.
Then I somehow want to make another compilation. I don't know what to call that.
Yeah.
Or wait for some years and release it as like an anniversary version or something. But this album in the last 10 years gone through multiple versions, bro. Because Monsoon in Kannur, the song.
Yeah.
We have done that song in 2011, even before the first album, right? And we didn't explore that sound back then, but now we feel like this is the time and we revisit it. So we'll do something to and also the mixes also. The first mix, the version was like 0, 1 and it goes to I don't know, man, how many versions, 17, 18.
Holy
so
shit.
Keshav is also a person. Keshav Dar, he always revisits and change something and he try to tweak it, and they go very deep and they give feedbacks like that. Even Nichu, Sushan, Varun, everyone.
Nice.
TM Krishna sent 5 versions of
vocal
rendition for that song.
Wow.
And each of them
different
I
emotion.
still have those versions with me, and
Nice.
I listen to it personally, privately,
Yeah,
and
wow.
I wish everyone could listen to it, because
Yeah.
all these versions he was like clinical with
Wow,
it.
man. And like your songs have gone through, a lot of versions and changes. I'm sure you guys also have. I think you've touched upon this though a little bit, but
Yeah. It's
what do you
always
feel
ups
about it?
and downs, and the
Yeah.
vibe keeps changing.
Yeah, naturally, man.
And that comes and goes, man. And this band survived only because we were open for these emotions to come and be
Very
there,
nice.
and it's okay. Maybe once in a while, every now and then, we keep losing interest in a lot of things, not just the band. We lose
Yeah.
interest in a lot of I mean,
Absolutely,
even at
man.
work, even with relationship,
Yeah,
with your
yeah,
wife
definitely.
and your cats and your house and your situation and your life itself. You lose interest, and then you need a trigger to come back. And it's not necessary that all this trigger needs to happen for all these 6-7 people in the band
Yeah.
simultaneously at the
Maybe
same
a different
time.
time also, yeah.
So I will be like
Shit.
fully up and running for certain weeks and months, and I can't guarantee that my other bandmates will resonate with it and jump with me. And there could be something that happens for the entire band at the same time. For example, finance.
Right.
We still putting a lot of money from our pocket to
Nice.
kind of finish this project.
Right.
But how long you gonna do it, bro? After a point, you are like, oh no, why this is not ending?
Yeah, I'm sure that. And
You know.
we'll revisit that finance thing in a second.
Yeah.
But I really like that you said that interest can change. I think that people don't talk about that very often.
Yeah.
Because it's not very nice to hear, right? It's kind of like a tougher side to anything. It's not just with music, like you said. It could be something as simple as going back home to your cats or your dog.
I be myself as like a creative director, designer. That's my identity when I go to office.
Yeah.
And there are days I don't want to design that day.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything about design. I don't want to talk about
Look
design
at
or
it.
see anything about design. But still I have to go and,
Yeah. You think that's discipline to a certain extent that gets you through that little slump that happens sometimes?
I don't know it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm
Yeah,
at least
that's
at a
true, actually.
place. I'm at a very privileged situation where I can go to office and say, guys, what? I'm not feeling it today, so let's do something else. I'm not gonna work today. I can say that.
Yeah.
Even in band, I can say
Yeah.
there's a gig happening maybe next month, and I'm saying, boys, I'm not feeling it.
Not
I
feeling
want
it.
to take rest.
And everyone's
and
okay
they
with
they
that.
will understand.
That's
it's
very
not like,
nice.
okay, let's find another vocalist for that gig.
Yeah, you don't have to like
Same thing goes for Varun or Sushin
anybody
or
else,
anybody,
right?
you know.
That understanding is nice, I think. Would you say that one, I don't call it vibe or call it like it's a love for each other at the end of the day. Has that helped you guys?
It's not a professional thing. For example, when Ganesh, now he is in US, and he came down to finish the album and he went back.
Right.
Now we are waiting for him to come back to India to do our Potten Fest, our festival.
Oh, that's
right?
cool.
For that, we need him. We are waiting for him.
Nice.
It's not like because he's not here, we are not doing it. It's just that we are preparing for that.
You
and
want
he's going
him
to
to be
come
part of
whenever he is required. So we are. Yeah, it's not a professional thing to do, or actually we could get a session drummer and do multiple shows and make some money and pay all the money that we have taken from ourselves, all that stuff. We are a band who took like 10 years to make our second album. So if you can do patience that much,
That is really.
let's not push again. We have like
Yeah.
at least 8 songs to release. We have
Yeah.
just 8 more songs to release.
Yeah.
We'll just focus on that. And the live, when we are doing, we want to do it in a way that it needs to have something extra.
It has
That's
to
what we are
feel
trying. Yeah,
like a TDT performance,
yeah,
right?
like a new TDT experience is something which we want to give.
That would be
And
nice.
that can't be like the shows that we have done in the
Right.
past. We are very decent in club shows, when an intimate show happening, all of our best shows happened in like
Close.
a 175, 200, 300 kind of a people kind of a vibe. But whenever we have done large shows like Indie Gaga and all of that stuff, what happens is that we always had like some kind of an issue with the stage monitor or in-ears. And it always ruined our we could never enjoy those kind of large shows because it was always about focusing and conscious about I'm not able to hear this, that, and all of that. All our sound engineers try their level best. It's not just their thing.
Because
Because when
whole
I
experience.
put in-ears, when I growl, this thing always comes out because my ears goes and it pushes out that thing. And it's very hard for me to keep that. And sometimes when I'm growling and I can't even hear myself or the instrument because, my throat is making that kind of a noise and I'm not able to hear anything. This is something which
that
I've
you
been
faced live.
feeling. So I always take like, drums kick as like a thing for me to sing. But sometimes when Ganesh or guitar, when they are not in sync, I will be also like not in
It's a
sync.
little tricky. And then in that moment, if you can't hear everything, it's very hard. And we've all been in a situation where you're playing live and you can't hear yourself. You're doing your movements and you're praying that it's the...
Either it's like when I'm growling, I can always hear myself. Most of the time, when I'm going near the monitor, there will be always howling sound. So I can't really go near the monitor.
Too close to it,
so I can't really hear everything. Sometimes it's just my vocals.
Would you feel like the energy has been flowing in the band, or has it been stagnant
Absolutely.
at any point? Did you feel?
Now this year we have released 2 songs, right?
Yeah, this year, of
Maharani,
course.
Ejjadi. But when we were not when we were working on the album, Sushin was really busy with all of his music and movie stuff which was happening. Nichu was also busy that way. Everyone in the band, Varun was building his studio and school. He was working on a syllabus with his wife for the school and the institution. And Ganesh was figuring out everybody. Advait was running his startup and I was figuring out. Everyone was doing a lot of things. And last year when I decided to take a break from work, that's when I was like, okay, we've been doing this for like 10 years now. And something needs to happen. So all the songs were like 60%, 75% completed. Then I quit my job and we went to multiple camps. We went to Kodaikanal and Kochi and Bangalore. We stayed together for like 2-3 weeks. Sometimes like couple of months. And finished the song writing.
So that's what it took to get everybody in a common space and like dedicatedly.
We've been doing this throughout the years. In the last 10 years, we were doing the same format multiple times.
Right.
But when I was taking the break, I was like, guys, let's finish the album, and also we will spend time for music videos. So we done 3 music videos. We done Maharani, we have done Ejjadi. Now we have Munz in Kannur as like a live action music videos. Then we have like bunch of 3D/lyric video coming from AJ Blend. It's going to be in 3D and everything.
Nice.
So we've been working on all of this stuff.
That sounds very exciting, man.
And during January, I think the Maharani video kind of got wrapped. And the editing was happening. And Monsoon in Kannur shoot was also done.
Okay.
That's when I got into my new job.
Right.
And for the last 2-3 months, I've been like really just focusing on work. So took like a little mental break from the band also. But we are releasing a new song called Binary Sun probably next week.
Next week?
Yeah. So,
I don't know if this podcast will be out by then, but maybe it is. You've heard it first here. So things are always kind of flowing as well, I guess.
That's what's happening, and everybody was figuring out their life. And as I told you, like we never wanted to push anybody to, like to a level. I mean, we always push each other.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like sometimes sometimes I'm rude a little bit.
Yeah, you have to challenge each other, right?
Push everyone to come on, guys. Like enough is enough. Let's go.
That's needed, I think.
Sometimes I do that, but I know where to draw the line. We don't do that in a way. We put a person in a corner or put it in a spot. We never done that. Everyone went through a lot of things like heartbreaks to finance problems to health issues to addiction to a lot of things, but we always been there for each other.
You got each other's
back. Gave that space. Even now,
I
think after releasing Ejjadi, because it's been like a lot of hard work, man. A lot of people don't understand like what all we need to do behind the scenes to even release something like this. It's not just about writing music, right?
Yeah.
A lot of discussion, a lot of lot of things, a lot of hard work. Right? So after a point you feel tired. I think mentally I think after release of Ejjadi, everybody was like trying to get like a grip. Now with Binary Sun, we are like, again coming. I'm sure we'll be tired after releasing this also.
No, I'm sure, man. That's definitely true.
Because, whatever the money we have received so far, we have already spent. So we don't have money for marketing and things like that.
Right.
So what we do is that, we manually sit and, we have like bunch of friends helping us also.
Yeah.
So we all
Share it
sit and
across
write and share across and, ask people to... I realized that this whole reaction video stuff, Dude, I was so stupid. I'm in marketing also. Right? Like, that's my job. I'm a designer. I work for marketing.
Brands.
Closely work with with Dunzo. I was with
Yeah,
the
you were
marketing
fully,
team.
yeah.
But I didn't know reaction video people were like, charging this much, because I have taken that 1 year break from my work. I was taking a break, as I told you, right? Like, so when I left Dunzo, I tried working with like, a couple of companies. Then I was taking this break. And by that time, this whole reaction video and everything was like
become a thing.
A channel. There is a revenue model.
It definitely.
Which functions for, early adopters to legends in the scene. Everyone charges a bomb.
Yeah. It's just ultimately they'll take your track and they'll be like, okay, I'll give it to my audience. So that's kind of what they charge for, I suppose.
Or you need to be at a level like Big Dogs or something, and you reach a level, everyone has to react to this, otherwise they won't get any traffic. Even now, when our music, somehow we are able to reach a level where we can get some money for it. Even after getting that, even a 10 rupees we can't even take from our pocket. Instead, we are pumping again money into it.
Wow, that's very interesting, man.
Yeah, because... we could have been little smart by not spending too much money on music video and stuff. But as I told you, this band is different for us. This is not about numbers. Okay, is it going to be break even? Is there any logic behind doing this? It's all about doing it. You want to do a good music video let's do it.
Do you have any regrets? Sorry to cut.
But I know, is it going to make money? Definitely not. Even if it's make money, is it going to us? Probably not.
No, I'm saying that aside, creatively, for what you've, what the path you've taken and what you've put out.
No.
Was there anything you'd do differently? Maybe that's how I should ask the question.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, even if you're sitting and working on this album again, we will do things differently. But that's always been there, man. That will be always there. Because, come on. We always move from one thing to another.
Absolutely.
Right?
It'll evolve.
Even in art, from one point, you're always trying to move forward. Even when you're trying to take something from the past to create something new, you're always moving forward.
Yeah. Everything is
just
a remix.
Just because you're going back and doing something similar doesn't mean that you're moving backward.
Yeah.
In art, it's always moving forward. So I have that feeling, but it's not a regret though. It could have been better this way. It could have been better.
Yeah, that's more like, I think, lessons along the way, but nothing that's a regret.
Yeah.
I think one thing that you've mentioned in the past, and I found very interesting, is that your understanding of the things you deal with, like just about, say, life itself, the things you sing about, the things that would have made you angry, all of that has evolved, like everything, like you said, it's changing. Yeah. But I want to know particularly from the perspective of the angry kids when you guys were doing it. Sorry, I'm going to say it, like, that emotion when we've all been there.
Yeah.
How has your understanding of oppression changed over these 10 years?
A lot, actually. Because, we as a band, we as people, human beings, like when we pass each year, the way you handle emotions changes. The way you handle it changes. I think life is all about, a certain degree. It's all about reacting to the things which is happening around you,
it's
right? And more than what you really want to do, and you're reacting to one thing to another. Sometimes you're dealing with your trauma, and when you're trying to deal with that, you are able to behave a certain way. That's life, right? So when you keep doing that, the way you look at things changes. Your relationship changes. What's valuable for you, what is not valuable for you, what you need to spend time on at that age keep changing. So you as a human being, your situation and your like this whole thing is keep changing and evolving. And at that time, same journey is happening on the other person also. It could be your wife, it could be your close friend, it could be your bandmate and your mom and dad and everyone. So imagine everyone needs to be in certain sync.
Wow.
Even to be in a room with each other, even to say hi to each other, even to sleep on the same bed again. You need to be in some kind of a rhythm. We listen to the same song, we listen to the same music, we listen to this, we are watching the same news, but the way we are receiving it is different, and the way we are understanding it is different.
That's so true.
Yeah,
Even
right?
someone watching the same podcast, like someone may focus on one thing that you said, but some other person may completely, be like, oh, look at this thing. It's the same thing. The thing is the same, but the perception of it is so different.
Still having all of these differences and stuff.
Yeah.
We are still in that this sync always changes with, this community, that community, this person, that person, that topic, this topic. But we are at least breathing, still smiling each other, still being on WhatsApp calls,
sharing
calls,
those moments,
still meeting and hugging, and we love each other, which is a great thing, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So
absolutely.
Similarly, our politics also changes.
Right.
So it's to go to your question. Oppression, I realized that it is not just a very visual and a physical thing. It used to be just that for me when I grew up.
Right.
I couldn't read a lot of subtle things on my caste and the way. I didn't know the way. I thought like who I am and what I am, people were understanding, and that's how it is. Right, but later when I got into the age where I can understand the social layers and the hypocrisy and the sarcasm and the all of this thing, that's when I realized that shoot, this is also oppression.
Different
it's not just taking a whip and putting lashing on your back because of your caste. It's that is oppression, and there are modern oppression which is happening.
So much, right? Nice.
How people treat you in society, etc.
That subtle side of it is, I think, which basically Jati, that's what.
Yeah, it is that also.
It is talking about that. No, I feel.
But we are talking about that song in a little more different angle, because people think. When you have enough money, all these things goes away. Because when we started and when I was younger, and we were, even now, it's not like we are super rich or anything. But we were okay. We were okay. We were like, that middle class.
Peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful. Yeah. We were, living. But maybe I thought, like, when I was a kid, okay, that's the reason why people don't, they treat us like this, because, I never thought it's caste. Only when I got first-hand experience when they were looking at my face and calling my caste and making fun of me because of my caste. I thought that is oppression. That is the only oppression. But later I realized that
there's a lot more forms of everything.
Yeah. Those kind of things we started understanding, and this happened throughout the years. And it's still happening also. It is. Next album when we write, it could be like a different angle also. But now I realize that, a lot of things happens.
Subtly it keeps happening.
And in my band also, there are, so-called upper caste person in my band also. And what he is going through, I had no idea. He's coming from an upper caste, and because, he being in a band like TDT and all, it's a crazy thing. And he's such a rebel in his family, and
for him it'll be
and so in his community he's like a hatred. There is a hatred happening on his side. So that's his life, and I see that first.
That also takes a lot of courage, to speak out against your community from a point of privilege. That is very difficult to recognize.
I have seen rich people being so nice and kind to everyone. I have seen poor people being
rude.
Because of the situation what they are going through, people react differently.
Yes, very true.
And now when we are blaming something, yes, of course we are angry. We are always like blasting at people, and sometimes we say things very directly also, like in the song Ejjadi. But generally I think we have learned how to handle emotions better, how we see things, even in music. I don't know whether you can call it being soft or being like less sharp. But even in music, we are not trying to prove anything. We are just. We used to do that a lot, like when we were writing the album, especially after the first album, when we were getting into the second album, we were like, okay, let's do this way, that way. So suddenly we started planning music and sound, and later we were like, no man, like that's not how it didn't feel right. Then again, it all happened very organically. Maybe it's the music that we are listening in that year, or maybe it's the movies we have watched, and that really influences.
I really like the fact that you write with emotion. That's something, as someone watching, that's something I've gathered. But what I want to know is how your creative process generally goes, because I'll tell you what place I'm coming from. In Maharani, in the featurette video, I think you guys are talking about how I think Varun played the riff, and when you heard it, you're like, this gives me a feeling of Maharani. I found that very interesting. Just how a sound can evoke firstly a feeling, and from there maybe a visual and maybe like a storyline and everything else. But
I think everyone in the band, we always spoke about this, but especially for me, a lot of things are very visual, man. For example, in Monsoon, there is this place where Varun plays a thing, and for me, whenever I hear it, first of all I get a goosebump. Second thing, it's a peacock. It's a peacock doing its dance, and it just for a second it just comes and do this, and it just goes away.
Shit.
Even when I'm talking to you, if I'm listening to that track, and even if I'm talking to you, somewhere in my head, that visual will be there.
That's so interesting, man.
Right? So a lot of riff Nagavalli, when that is playing, there is a thing happening in my head. So everything is like sounds and visual. It's always connected. Even for all of our bandmates, it's like that. So we always speak like that, and we sometimes name riffs.
Right.
So we have that Jangaram riff and
What about a song like KFC? Is that also, or is that a little more like you have an idea in your head and then you're kind of expressing that, bringing that out? Or is KFC also a little more like you're exploring, bouncing off each other's ideas and playing with each other's sounds? And how was that song made?
So KFC is the last song we have worked on in the first album. So that song, we finished all other songs in a very organic manner, as in we will meet in Kannur beach, Payambalam beach or Talasheri beach. I mean, Sushin stays on a cliff. There is a sea right, so you can take a step. There is a steps you need to take. Then you can go in the beach, and it's a beautiful place.
I'd love to visit sometime.
Talasheri, and we used to go there and jam. And in the house where the cliff is, there is this room which has like full glass walls.
Whoa, man!
And we see sea. When you're jamming in the night, it's like full stars, and there will be like boats on the sea. So stars goes like like 180 like that.
Shit.
So it's very and we used to look at that and jam, and it's beautiful.
That's actually so nice.
So that's how we have written almost all the songs in the first album.
Nice.
Then KFC, because we finished 9 songs and we were like, okay, we need one more song just to make like a 10 track. And then we worked in. So Sushin came and he was staying in one BHK house in Koramangala, Vipro Signal house, in the center, and a small house, dude, kutti house. And me, Ganesh, we will go to office every day from there, and we'll come back in the evening. By that time, Varun, Sushin, Nezar, they sit together, and Advait also used to go to office, and we 3 will come in the evening. These guys sit till evening and do something. And evening till like late night, we sit and make feedback and rework on the music, etc. This was our thing, and every day when I go, I used to give like big speech and all. Guys, today you guys have to finish this song. If you guys don't finish this song, you guys can't we can't do this. We have. We need to be time bounded, be a little more disciplined and everything. And every day and because this song is not getting completed, and we don't even know what this song is.
Yeah.
Then one day, I came back from office and I blasted everyone. What is this? It's been like 5-6 days you guys are sitting and not even a single riff on. So Sushin recorded that. And the next day when I came from office, then I asked him, anything done? Any updates? Then he's like, no man. And I was like losing it. Then suddenly I'm hearing, my own sound.
Railing back.
So that's the KFC intro.
Oh,
So
no
from
way.
yesterday, from the morning speech, he was like, if you can't do music, you can't do this or that, you can't do live. So that he put as like an intro for KFC.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, that's how that happened. And it was the entire song, dude. When I was leaving in the morning, that song was not there. By evening, the entire song was done.
Shit.
And evening, once I was back, Nichu was writing the lyrics and he was like, dude, sing this. I was like, what? Sing it like this. He was singing for me, and I was like, I was just trying to follow his lines, and yeah, that's how KFC happened.
Man, that's such a cool story.
Yeah.
Yelling at the boys, and they're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a banger track out of that.
Yeah. At that time, because of like everyone had like some kind of a liberty on somebody. I mean, everybody in the band, like with each other. Now we are more like we respect each other and we are like friends, brothers. We fuck around, but still.
That much is not there. No, that much leeway is
like,
not like,
dude, Like I don't go and like punch Varun's face now.
You would at one point.
Yeah, he would have done that to me, and
boys being boys, just
like a lot of things.
That's
more
part of metal experience.
We have family now, and
can't be going back with black eyes, Your partner will be like.
When we go for like trips, suddenly we have like our own. We take some time for our family and stuff. For example, when we go for, there are times where I just take Susie and walk into a corner. Sushin goes with Pony for like an hour for a walk. And
right.
Where is Sushin? Oh, he's not here because he's with Pony. Suddenly feels like, okay, there is somebody else taking the love, our love. There is now sharing love. That is always.
That age-old thing is always going to be that.
Otherwise, it's always just us. 6-7 of us, including
boys.
Sangeet, we will be like in a room sweating, sitting, talking about vision for, the band in the next 10 years, making this music, that music.
Oh, God.
Bitching about some other music. Those
we
kind of
need
things
women,
are not
man.
happening a
we
lot
need
these
women
days.
to make us normal human beings, or else metalheads will just sit and plan.
I'm sure kids gonna watch this video and say like dad vibes. Full dad vibes. TDT got the dad vibes.
So I really liked how when you had the 10-year anniversary edition of the first album, you had a lot of features, and you, I think, had some new collaborations on your older tracks. And particularly, I really liked Chapilla. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Chapilla.
Chapilla, right?
Yeah.
And Adarsh was just telling me the meaning of, what that is. Very intense.
Yeah.
I love the poetry that you had going on in the I don't call it a lyric video, but the new video and the very, very intense, man. Even the visual that you created, it was like using that negative space in the middle to create that phallic imagery and absolutely powerful stuff. Because I had not, I'd heard the track, but I'd not done a deep listen to it.
That song is like my favorite TDT track.
Oh, really? That's your favorite? Man, nice. I was going to ask you separately.
That is because it's so beautiful. I recently spoke about it, because I'm not there in that track. As in, like, I'm not doing...
You're not,
I don't need to perform that song. So that is the only track I've seen TDT live. Because at that, there's been situation where I go and come out and watch TDT live.
That must be so
and
cool.
None of the other guys could do it. None of the other guys
no one
could
else
do
gets
it.
to go off.
Yeah, but we have featured different musicians. For example, different drummer played when Ganesh was around, or we played with another bassist when Nichu couldn't play and he was in the crowd.
Nice.
But he's still not seeing the entire TDT. Right? Like I was seeing.
Wow, man,
like,
that's such a cool thing.
The same lineup, but minus the vocalist.
You're
but
not there.
This is how people hear the band outside the stage. I have been there, and that's my favorite track as well. So. There, I whenever after finishing the album, after releasing the album, whenever I listen to Chapilla, there is this portion, there is this section which comes, and I always growl whenever I'm hearing that track. And I wanted to do that in the revisit. So that is one thing we have done. And we always had proper lyrics for this song.
Oh, okay.
If you listen to the track in headphone, like with blasting the sound, you can hear somewhere somebody's actually,
it's a female voice, I think.
It's a baby's voice. That was the intention at that time.
That's
but we
so
couldn't do
hardcore.
it. This is 2010 time when we were producing this album, right? At that time, what we wanted was a baby to say this line, and suddenly that baby becoming like a teenager, then a man.
That goes with the story with your
old person, and he dies in the in the life, and he's coming back as a baby again. That's how we wanted that this thing to be.
Man.
So in this, when we were doing the revisit, we decided, okay, maybe we don't want to have that dramatic transition and stuff, but let's keep a dual sound, somebody saying something. So we recorded with our friends and made
got
some
someone to come and do it.
Filtering on it.
Right.
That's how we have done that.
Nice.
And that entire project, celebrate our
Give
first
a
album,
salute.
because we wanted to remind everybody that this we remastered all the track, and we have re-released it just to remind everybody that this happened in Kerala, in Bangalore, 2013. We have released that album that year, and this genre still exists. So before we talk about anything about the new album, we wanted to celebrate that album. And we have called bunch of our friends and asked, like, you want to stuff like Oat Nyavis with Rishmi Satish is something which we always wanted to do, even during the first album, and that didn't happen. And this time, when we could we were in a position where we could reach out to her and ask, like, can we do this? And everyone helped for free. We didn't have any money, man. So we asked everyone, guys, can you guys do this? For example, DJ Sheku, V3K, everyone, like, Rishmi Chechi, like, everyone
just came together to just that's so nice, man.
That's so nice.
It's beautiful. I have a rapid fire segment for you.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. When was the last time that you felt time was still?
When my friend passed away. That was like,
nice.
It was not moving at all.
What is your personal favorite moment as a band?
A Rolling Stone Metal Awards.
Nice.
And
you guys got 8 out of the 18.
That night was very special, because that was the first time we realized that, like,
you guys
nationally, and we are not just a fluke.
What is a perfect day for Munz?
Perfect day would be like, waking up and doing nothing. As in, like, nothing as in whatever I want to do. Without forcing myself doing it.
Nice.
That's a perfect day.
What is one thing you've been procrastinating for a long time?
A lot of collaborations are pending. I have the track. I just have to record my voice on it.
If you could learn one skill overnight, what would it be?
It would be for convincing people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because if I could convince the way I could convince the people, I think I can just conquer the world.
Wow, that's powerful.
I can't. Sometimes
Sales.
my ideas just sits in my head. I can't articulate it. Yeah.
What is one unexpected music, like something the audience would not know, that's in your playlist, something that you really like?
Oh, I like a lot of vanilla stuff, what people say. I love a lot of Nickelback.
Oh,
I love
crazy.
a lot of Britney Spears. I love Backstreet Boys, Westlife.
Nice.
I listen to a lot of Shaggy. I listen to Blue a lot. Like all this 2010 stuff, I still
party
listening to it.
Nice.
And also the latest stuff. I love Justin Bieber.
Oh, man,
I
I
have
would have
a lot
not
of songs
expected.
in my playlist from him.
Nice.
I also listen to a lot of hip hop. I mean, those are normal people who knows me knows that I love hip hop, and
maybe not the fans.
But I listen to a lot of genres.
Nice.
And a lot of old Malayalam songs, old Hindi songs. People who are close to me, they know that I can't speak Hindi. Sometimes people come from in the office, especially they come to my floor just to watch me speak Hindi. They will be like, please speak in Hindi for some time, we want to laugh. But I listen to a lot of Hindi old songs and stuff. So that would be surprising for a lot of people.
Where did you last go on vacation?
Kodai. That is like one place I keep going. Kodaikanal is like
Keeps
my
calling
happy
you back.
place. I don't know how many times I would have visited that place.
Nice. What was your favorite subject in school?
I think English was my favorite subject, even
Nice.
though I was bad at it. But for some reason, I could
It was fun.
stay in the class with the feeling. Okay, I knew I'm not good at it, but still I could stay in the class without anxiety. Every other class, I was bad at it,
Yeah.
like maths and everything. I was bad at it, and I had like crazy anxiety when I was
Had
sitting in
to
the
just
class.
get out, shit.
But English, but it was something which I kind of like hearing my teacher say. So it
Got
was
it.
nice.
If you are going on a YouTube binge, okay,
Mm.
like going into a rabbit hole,
Yeah.
what is the topic of videos that you're watching nowadays? What is it on your?
I'm mostly watching videos. There is this guy called Vaishagan Thambi. So he's like a physics teacher in Kerala.
Oh
And
shit.
he talks about science. Sometimes religion and atheism also, but mostly science. And he talks about some serious things. But the way he present an idea is like beautiful. So Vaishagan Thambi is like my
Go to.
go-to.
Who would you say is your hero?
I don't know. It was keep changing.
Like
And-
right now, what of late, who has been kind of inspiring you a lot in whatever way it could be in.
I don't know. Like a lot of people say, like, their dad is their hero. I don't think Appa is like a good friend and he's like a very chill person. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's my hero as such. Because a lot of people I thought
Like idolize them
and their idols been like shattered.
Right. Yeah.
So I have seen people close and that's not, so there is no hero as such, man. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could sim race against any one person in the world, who are you going to race against?
There are like bunch of people.
Yeah.
I always sim race, but in sim racing, I think there is this guy called James Baldwin. So he's like a alien level kind
Oh
of
shit.
sim racer. I just want to play with him once.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could.
Do you think you'll
and
have a shot?
understand like what he's doing differently, because when I watch his onboard and stuff, it's like unbelievable. So like being on the same track with him would
That
be like
would be
crazy.
nice. Do you think you'll have a shot to beat him?
No,
Little bit.
definitely
No?
not. Definitely not. I thought you were asking like whether you think you have a shot like in future, whether that happening. Sim racing is not like a very big community. It is big. It's growing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some of the people I follow in sim racing, sometimes I have played with him accidentally in certain lobbies and stuff.
Nice.
And sometimes I got streamed in their
The
channels
videos
and
and-
Twitch.
yeah.
And,
Nice.
So those happen. So it could
Yeah.
happen also.
Fingers crossed,
Yeah.
James. We're coming for you.
Yeah.
That was our rapid fire segment.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
man.
That's the end.
It
of
was not really rapid for me, right? Even for rapid fire, I just go on and on and
No,
on.
no,
about
that's
it.
cool. That's cool. It's all about getting the vibe out. One thing which I found very interesting, like how you had these interviews which you did with Win 12th and the Jarex and all.
Yeah.
And when I just saw that, first of all, it felt like a personal win as a musician. Seeing, because the whole title of that video is how this Bangalore couple earns so much
Dude,
and all,
about
right?
that. No hate on them, but the thing is that that interview I was entire interview, me and Susie were like talking about our struggle and what all happened in our life and things like that, thinking that it will inspire other people.
Right.
Right. So this that interview was also so long.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
2.5 hours, 3 hours, we were just talking about like some
Wow.
deep things about. And later they were like, you guys need to talk about some
Numbers,
money and all of that.
I
like, we
figured
can't
when I saw that video.
I was like, we can't really do that. We are not comfortable doing that. And I had to make up some number and say it.
Yeah.
And I said, I mean, I just said it. They said, okay, this is just going to be an option just to show everyone in house, but we won't use it. But we will do something else.
Damn.
Then later they called me and said we are using it. I was like,
Yeah.
can I see it? Then I saw it and I was like, the video starts by saying, some things. And I'm like, damn, that's so cringe. And I don't think I have still watched the whole thing.
You've not made it through.
But what
No,
happened
it's
was
nice.
they were so kind enough to share the entire video with
Yeah, I
me.
saw that it was on your channel. I
and
saw
told me,
that.
like, you can use it.
That was very sweet.
So
at
there,
least.
what I have done is that mostly about music and design, whatever I have discussed, that I have put in
I
that
really
video.
like that.
So whomever comes and tells me that, bro, I saw the
What is
Pink
this
Wealth
you're
video,
doing?
I'm like, go and watch the
Watch the full
this thing, then you will
nice.
get the context. And
Yeah.
stuff. So.
No, but it's fair.
But later, a lot of people told me that it was inspiring and stuff, even though it was cringy for
Yeah,
me.
that's what.
But,
No, I'll tell you what, because so this was the same, very similar to the feeling you had, because initially when someone might look at the thumbnail, they'll be like, it's some cringe thing, they're just hyping it. But the reason why I said it felt like a personal win is to see a fellow musician to, like, let's say, make it. I know that's not the end of it. There's always going to be more, but to a certain extent, touch wood, saying that someone has made it. But then I kind of got thinking to the flip side of it, because even in the interview you mentioned about how, like you said, that with TDT you guys have been, it's more of investing in this passion project. You've never looked at it only like one monetary thing. What does it speak about our scene here, like in India, let's say? How does that make you feel that, like, somebody who has to make it, doing it through a monetary way directly with the band, does it still feel like a very impossible thing, would you say? Or...
See, I think I can talk only about my situation, because I don't want to disrespect anybody doing things differently.
Right, absolutely.
I completely respect people doing things in their own way.
Yeah.
And it's not just one template.
Right,
and
absolutely.
The format which we have taken is like a very rare format. Only few bands does it. For example, Agam, they do it. They go to office Monday to Friday, and when they can get time, whenever they can take off, they spend that time on the band. Same thing. They are also putting money from their pocket. Sometimes now they are working with labels, just like how we are working with Think. They are working with Wonderwall Media.
Okay,
right?
Nice.
So I mean, that's one way of doing it.
Right.
And it's a choice that we have taken. If you ask me, like, can you be in a metal band, having no other job, but just being in a band and still survive it? I'm very doubtful, because all the people I know, unless you are in a situation like, say, Sky Harbor or Bloodywood. But even for Sky Harbor, everyone had to do whatever they had to do. Like, full-time musician is a little tough. Sometimes I speak to Keshav and he's also like, dude, there are a bunch of things I need to do my own.
I'm sure.
So that's the format we have taken. We are making money from whatever the professions we are okay or good or decent with.
Nice.
Take that energy and resource and put that into the band and making sure that this is sustaining. But is that a healthy thing or not? I'm not sure. At least we are not like doing anything toxic to support this. We are going to work.
Yeah.
Taking that money, because our music is very different. I don't know whether other musician from other genre can really understand.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think the only exception, probably talking about Bangalore, is probably electronic music, which has a better... The economics are better right now because it just works that way. So
and also,
that
like,
aside,
how
most
you
of them
get into this music also matters, bro. Even if you're a person who's not really into this genre, you go for a couple of EDM shows and there is a chance that you can get into that kind of music.
Correct, yeah.
And the same thing goes for hip hop. It's easy to consume, it's easy to understand, it's easy to take away. And you can listen to that as like a background music for any situation. And metal, it's an acquired taste. It is little it's not easy to just listen. Even for me, I can't just like it, at any mood, at any situation, play a metal track and be okay with it. I need like a stepping stone.
Context.
For example, if I want to listen to Slipknot, there are tracks which I listen to in certain order so that I can get to this track. I need an intro track for a heavy track.
You can't directly got it.
Even for my own band, TDT, I can't just go and listen to Nagavalli just like that. I want to listen to the first half of Monsoon for me to get into the vibe, mood of this. I don't know, it's the same for everyone. Maybe this is the dad vibe, but but that's how it is.
So in this kind of vein, when you partnered with Think Media, what was that like? Was that did they approach you and then you guys said, okay, let's kind of jump on, or were you guys... Did you reach a stage where you guys all said, okay, should we consider looking at some record labels, music labels?
I mean, when we were about like 7 songs down, we knew, okay, this is shaping up to be an album.
Right.
This is probably in, like right after COVID. during COVID is when I was trying to figure out all the vocal patterns. After I have done the vocals, I have given that to Nichu for writing the lyrics, and he came up with certain lyrics. I wrote Jadi, and I have completed lyrics. Then we had some kind of a demos for most of the songs. That's when we were like, okay, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do with it? Last time we were releasing it as a CD.
Right.
Now there is no chance.
No,
we can
CD
release.
only is not
CD
there.
exist. It doesn't exist. What do? We were like, okay, people are in YouTube. They are, in YouTube and Spotify. So let's make music videos.
Yeah.
Then we got, because I also used to direct music videos.
Yeah,
I've done Chaos music video, All Against All. Then I have done Agam music video series.
Nice.
And the cost at that time, I was planning the cost with that.
Yeah, kind of number in mind.
And the number, when I verified with the certain directors and the production houses, I was like,
dude,
man, how are we going to do this like ever? They're like, one music video will cost you somewhere around 20-25 lakhs. I was like, TDT never seen that kind of a money. We still get calls, and they ask us to perform for free sometimes. Sometimes they are like, we will give you like around 45,000. That's the maximum we can. We are like a 7-member band.
The economics just doesn't.
Even for us to book a flight or and
so that
go to another city.
That need guided you
even
to
for doing a show, whatever the money we are getting, sometimes we have to put some money back into it.
For that one show.
Because we want to celebrate it. We are very picky and choosy. We don't do a lot of shows. So whenever we are doing shows, we take our girlfriends and wives and
it's a proper celebration. Like it's you're going to enjoy the music and the moment.
And sometimes when we are, because this is a rare time, bunch of us are together. And we are like family also. So we all want to chill. If you are going to Hyderabad, okay, we'll stay for one more day and chill, see Hyderabad and chill there for a bit. Do the same in Chennai and Delhi. Think about it, bro.
Yeah,
we are talking about 7 plus
gone.
7 plus a sound engineer, light engineer, and some other friends also. Man. It's like bunch of people doing
like that won't even cover your band's cost, let alone the extended the logistics and the people
so we are at that situation, okay, and whatever the profit is coming, it's not like singer songwriter or a hip hop artist kind of a way. It's not split between the DJ and the artist. Everyone in the band puts money back into this, and still we need to buy instruments and
so after the partnership with Think, has it become a little better?
Absolutely. I don't think we could have done any of what we have done or doing right now if Think was not there. Think working with Think, it sends like a big message, right? Like for a forgotten genre, like
it's like a revival, man.
Kerala.
Honestly,
and especially at the time where the hip hop is like in the peaking time, at the peak, them putting money for a project like this is absolutely wow. See, people from the community, from the metal community, our comrades, plus the new people who are coming up with new bands. How inspiring, especially for the younger kids. How inspiring it is. They comes to us and say, like, oh, we can also do this, right?
Absolutely, man.
So great, and they have seen us struggling for the last 10-15 years.
That's true, man.
And now we're doing something like this. They are so proud, and they are like, okay, this genre is not dead yet.
Yeah, that is honestly, I want to tell you one small story, which I don't know, you might know these guys, Sikh Society. So it's Vijo, and Vijo's the manager. I had a chance to work with them a little bit on this, and they only had like exactly this kind of fun, inspiration and beautiful things to say about you guys. They would literally tell me that, we want to make a video, want to do something. Munz had done something. Can we do something like this, So that was very nice to see that people are actually, it is giving that inspiration. It's reaching the right people.
I'm so grateful, man. So grateful. Because, all my life, bands like Aviel, Mother Jane, how inspiring that to us. And we always been looking, because we are walking in the way which they have paid for us, and
paying it forward.
So we are always looking at them for inspiration and stuff, and we never realize that we are doing the same thing to other generation. First of all, we didn't know we were growing up, we were getting old, right?
Never realized. No.
Yeah. Because just like the dialogue which I said to Surajatan from Mother Jane or Rexatan in
Where is
in
the
Aviel,
music?
when I'm there, bro, I used to listen to Nagavali when I was in 8th standard.
Oh,
And I'm like,
man.
what? I used to do the
You
same.
were in
when
8th standard.
Yeah, I used to do the same. For bands like Mother Jane and Aviel, and wow,
Time really flies, no?
Yeah, I'm
Shit.
like, damn. So I feel like I'm not saying like we are at a level of Mother Jane or Aviel. I'm saying that for bunch of people,
Yeah.
we were able to inspire
We're able
them
to
to
inspire
write
them,
music and
yeah.
make videos and still be in a band, and
Yeah.
you can continue being in a band even if your life situation changes and you have to go for a day job, whatever, you can still do this. So
Honestly,
this has inspired people, and we
Definitely.
are so proud of that fact.
Last question on Think Media. How has it helped with that marketing side of it? Like, has that opened up a new way to market your music, and are they helping you guys to
Definitely,
market
definitely,
and, all
definitely
of
they are
those things?
helping. But is it even for Think, this is a new space.
Right.
First of all, them supporting an album, I
Yeah.
think there is no album concept anymore, no? It's
Yeah,
all just
dude, that's
single,
true, yeah.
maximum an EP.
YouTube singles.
Very
and
rarely
artists.
albums come. So
Yeah.
even for them, how to promote an album and all, it's like a new thing for them. And this music itself, metal, it's like a
Yeah.
new space for them.
It's a very
So there are
tricky-
limitations, trying to reach to the right crowd. But our intention was also that, bro. We didn't want to release the album for the same crowd that we have
Very
released.
nice.
Those people who
Yeah.
listen to our album, our music, will always come somehow eventually. But when we release this on a very mainstream channel, first of all, it sends a message that, okay, in Kerala, there's a metal band.
Yeah.
Even, giants like Chaos, been in the scene, done like, 3-4 albums. And metal is always an underground genre.
Yeah.
And Chaos don't take any bullshit. They just do some honest music and they just play live. And those, even for them, when we do stuff like, Think Music, it's
Adds that
it
value
adds
to
that
it.
value for the entire community, actually.
So if I ask Munz, what is the role of marketing, or rather how important is marketing in today's day and age if you're going to put out an album of your music, particularly putting out an album? What do you think about the importance of marketing? Is it needed? Is it not?
Absolutely, it's needed. It's about how you're doing it, how tastefully you are doing this. Sometimes we don't want to submit to the algorithm for everything.
Yeah.
Because if you are choosing that pathway, then you might have to go through a lot of things.
You change your art sometimes because of that.
Sometimes we even feel like we are not even musicians, and we are bunch of people trying to run behind numbers for engagement and likes and shares and virality and stuff. Then you start making music for those numbers, then it becomes something else.
Something is not why you started making music only.
So we always thought about marketing after finishing the music.
Nice.
We made
Makes
sure
sense.
that it never affected the music.
Right.
Then even when we were making music videos and stuff, even writing music, we knew certain things is not algorithmic. Music video maybe need to have this kind of a tone, you need to do this kind of stuff in music video so that it will get more clicks. But we chose things like, okay, let's do music video with an expensive camera. But we never said, okay, let's use this kind of a color or this kind of a costume so that we will get some clicks. Last time we couldn't do this. In 2013, when we were releasing this music, social media was existing, but it was not at this level.
Yeah, it was just starting.
It helped us reach out to the right kind of a crowd, and now we are using the power of social media to reach out to more crowd.
Nice.
Because it took around, for us, for Shiva to get 3-4 lakhs view, it took 7-8 years.
Yeah, wow.
Now when we release Ejjadi, we are getting 7-8 lakhs, 9 lakhs views
Within a couple of weeks.
within some weeks and in a month's time,
Very
which
nice,
is
man.
a great thing.
It
That
is a
means
good
it's
feeling.
reaching to crowd. Whether that's getting translated to more people
Fans.
listening to music, I mean this genre of music, I'm not sure, but this is the first thing you need to do for your community.
Correct. That's step
You know,
one.
put
you have
out
to read.
music out there,
Yeah.
reach out to maximum number of people,
Yeah.
and play this. You know, if they
Yeah.
like it, fine, great. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not algorithmic,
Yeah.
but maybe people might like it, and that is happening also.
Yeah.
When there is
finding new fans,
kids from 5th standard, 6th standard
Oh,
comes to us,
wow.
like, oh, we listen to metal.
That's
I
mad.
know Metallica. I listen to Maharani. Death Venti is our favorite. I'm like, wow,
dude,
man,
that's
like,
such a nice
Yeah.
feeling. Fifth
It's a
grade kids
really,
and all.
really great.
So if you guys are looking to make sure that the music that you're making reaches the right audience, look no further than Muso Soup. Muso Soup is here to help you package your music. You need to make your press kit. There's some resources for that. If you already have things sorted out and you want to reach out to influencers, Spotify playlists, or blog articles, Muso Soup is here to make that happen for you. Check out musosoup.com for more. So in the band, who is the most energetic?
I think I'm
Yeah.
the most energetic.
Who is the funniest?
Probably Nichu.
Yeah.
He's funniest. I don't think he's trying to be funny, but sometimes
It
some of
just
the
ends
things
up.
he says
Nice.
becomes very funny. Yeah.
Who is the best spoken?
Probably Advaid.
Mm-hmm.
He articulates things
Yeah.
with. Sometimes he loses it also, but
Yeah.
he's the
Out
one.
of the boys,
Yeah.
he's the... Who's always late to practice?
Late to practice Sushin,
Yeah.
because we will be jamming for like 3-4 days. He will come only for the last 2 days.
Oh, shit.
And, because of his schedule and stuff.
Yeah, right. I'm sure
So
nowadays
he's late
it's...
to
Yeah.
the practice. Yeah.
Right. And who is the punctual person always on? Who's telling everyone
I
else?
think
come?
all of us are like okay,
Yeah.
but I am little more punctual, I think.
Yeah, time-wise.
Yeah, time-wise.
Nice. Who is the quickest to anger?
I used to be me.
Yeah.
Now I think it's Advaid.
Who is the best chef?
Best chef.
Yeah, who can cook
I
best?
think that's Nichu.
Who is the wisest?
I mean, wiseness on what base actually? Yeah.
Like when you think of a wise old person,
Wise-
like if
For
you were to
example,
ask somebody,
life stuff.
Life stuff, I'd say.
Take it easy. Life is like this. It's okay.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
It's okay. Don't make it complicated. That is more like Sushin.
Okay.
But when you go logical, science and philosophy and all
Yeah.
that's Advait.
Acha.
So yeah.
Nice. Shared title.
Yeah.
Who is the drama queen?
In the band,
Yeah.
I think I'm
Yeah.
the one. Yeah. Most of the
Nice.
time it's me.
Who panics the easiest?
I think that is also me probably.
Yeah. Who has the best hairstyle?
Varun.
And who is the best dressed?
Me, I think.
Yeah. I love it. I knew it. I had to make you take off your
Yeah.
Jordans when you
I don't mean to brag, but
Yeah.
you know the truth, guys.
You already know it, guys.
Yeah.
It's Munz.
Sorry.
Yeah. Who is the party animal of the band?
Party animals probably Sushin. I
Okay.
think.
Nice.
Yeah, because what it's not like clubs and pubs,
Mhm.
but he always want to take everyone out.
He
He's the
himself
one
is
who
a
is
party.
always party, as in like it's always about like we being in a quiet place and gathering and
right.
chilling and you know
Yeah,
playing
that's
some
your party.
music.
Yeah.
That's Sushin's vibe,
Nice.
and he always pushes the band
To,
and our
like,
family
chill out.
to chill out.
Nice.
We recently done that multiple times.
Yeah.
Chilling with the whole family somewhere
That must
else.
be really
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
no?
yeah.
Awesome, man. That was the rapid fire there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Having heard your story, I felt that you are this one individual who has certain like very cool things happening to him. Like I'll tell you what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, like when you said the first time you got a phone where you were doing photography and trying that out was through somebody who heard
Shani,
you.
yeah.
Oh, was that Shani?
Yeah,
who gave you the
Shani
phone?
gave me, he heard our track Death Vanity for the first time, then he gifted
He
this
gifted you the phone.
Nokia phone
Yeah.
which had like 8 megapixel camera back in 2006
Yeah.
or 7, which was unbelievable. Everyone had like,
Yeah.
1 MB.
We didn't have cameras, most of us
Yeah.
back then, dude.
So that's how I got into photography.
Even after that, when someone
After
gave
that,
you a
then I started uploading these photos I have taken using
Yeah.
this phone on Orkut. This guy called Preetham Denzel D'Souza.
yeah.
So he's a guitarist of Dying Embrace also.
Oh,
so
nice.
he contacted me and he gifted this camera. Then after a couple of years, he again
gave
called
you
me.
a-
Then he upgraded that camera for me.
Yeah.
That actually got me into photography and
Yeah.
design and stuff like that.
So
yeah.
that side of it, and also these, like when you are thinking about your own life, I feel like you give value to moments a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, when certain time when this happened, and you kind of see that the path of your life has changed.
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
So do you feel that there is some kind of a magic or something working behind the curtain? Like,
Spiritually, I'm not
Spiritually.
sure, bro. But I'm very grateful for those kind of moments, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm always grateful for the people who supported me when I was struggling and
Yeah.
everything. I always make sure that they are being respected and they are there in my life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I have that love going. The only reason I reached Bangalore is because Ganesh got a campus placement in Bangalore and Nichu
Yeah.
wanted to do his masters in Bangalore.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I reached
You're
Bangalore.
here,
Right?
yeah.
So everything led to another thing, So
Are you a spiritual person though? Would you say, or religious as well? I mean, it's not one
I'm
or
not
the other.
religious at all.
Yeah.
I used to believe myself as like an atheist.
Hmm.
Now, if I don't believe in the structured version of religion and God. I don't believe in God or anything like that. But
yeah.
it's just that I'm just fascinated with the size of this galaxy,
Right.
this universe, and this all these particles and
Yeah.
we being like stardust and like yeah, in that sense I'm very fascinated because we are in this world together and we are
Yeah.
sitting together. My brain is sending some signals on my feet and legs and my mouth and that brain is trying to communicate with this skin and
Yeah.
like how
It's pretty
in
mind
that
blowing.
way, I don't know whether that's spirituality, but in the lens of science, when I'm trying to observe this world,
Yeah.
I keep watching these videos and documentaries which talking about the scale of this universe and the size of this universe. And recently I realized, like I used to think about, galaxies and other, like black holes, which is like so
Shit,
far
yeah.
and, millions of light years away, the stuff. But I realize how far it is from, Earth to Moon,
Yeah.
then from Moon to the next planet. And how big is this solar system? Then
Yeah.
how big is this galaxy? I can't even comprehend how big this is. And I am in it as like a dust, which is feeling which makes me feel so humble. So that way
You have that little bit of-
that vibe.
Yeah.
But I don't believe like something magically happening because if something magically was happening, then it should happen for all of us, not just for some of us.
Wow,
you
that's
know.
a really nice thought actually.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
such a nice thought.
So everything,
Didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be my very last question to you. Imagine you are going to be stranded on an island, okay? And your food, water, shelter, like the basic needs are taken care of.
Awesome, that's vacation then.
Basically, you have your, peeps, like, you've got your fam and all.
Yeah.
But what are 5 things, like say creatively or music or leisure or, anything
Yeah.
outside of the basic needs that
Yeah.
are going with you on this island?
Recently, somebody asked me this, okay?
Yeah.
Like you can choose only two. You can choose only 2 bands
Oh.
that you can take.
Yeah,
and
listen
you can
to
take
for
all
the
their
rest.
discography, but you can listen to only that
For the
forever.
rest of it, yeah.
At that time, I said this was a question which Advait asked. Actually, he
Huh.
asked this to the entire
full
bandmates,
band.
all the bandmates, and at that moment in that pressurized situation, I chose Pink Floyd and Scribe.
Oh, interesting combo, but man, crazy. Yeah.
Pink Floyd because I like most of their songs and they
Yeah.
have like little bit of heavy stuff that I can always listen to.
Right, yeah.
Like
Floyd
you
has.
don't need like a specific mood. You can make that as like a background of your life. Pink
Yeah.
Floyd, you have all kind of an emotion there and big discography.
Yeah,
you can listen to this
you
thing
can-
for
don't
like
get bored of
literally
it.
for a week, right? So if you are getting the entire catalog and discography, I'll go for Pink Floyd.
Pink
for
Floyd.
quantity mostly and also good smart move.
Yeah.
Scribe because that's my freedom. Because
That's what you love,
Scribe,
right?
if I can take like the first EP and the second three albums, if I could take that, then bro, the kind of energy Scribe gives and
Scribe
all
is,
the
like,
things they
amazing.
have done with Vishwesh.
Yeah.
Man, that's one album. Of course, then there are Avial album and Mother Jane album, but
Yeah.
over the years, I'm keep getting indulged with that music. I'm literally, fully into. I don't know how to say it.
No, I think I understand.
For TDT's music video, we tried reaching out Vishwesh. We asked him whether he can
that would be
direct
so cool.
1 or 2 music video for us, but because of schedule and stuff, and he was busy, etc.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do it. But I was able to play one track for him, and plus we spoke about Scribe a lot, and I told him how big of a big fan I am and all of that. So I'm so grateful I can actually do all of
Speak
this.
to them. Yeah.
Call Vishwesh and say how much I love him. And all of that. I'm so glad I was able to do that with the other bandmates also in Scribe. And I was able to sing a song called I Love You, Pav Bhaji on stage with them. And that also, like you're talking about moments which leading to another moments and everything, right? We supposed to open for Megadeth. That day, that gig didn't happen. As in, like, Megadeth played, but we couldn't get the slot.
Bangalore only, right?
No. This was in Mumbai, Harley Riders gig. So there, what Scribe was done was, Scribe was like, okay, 5 bands got cancelled. So we're going to split our slot that we have for all these 5 bands.
Dude, what a top
And
move.
TDT was, for some reason, they didn't... we didn't actually get on stage with the TDT because we are like 7-member band.
Just to set up is like
so much time. We didn't want to waste our someone else's time. But I was like, okay, I can
do Pav Bhaji with you, like,
yeah, I think the idea was from them only, like, you can get on a song with us.
Yeah, that was nice.
Wow, dude.
That would be amazing.
Then I went on stage and sang that song with them, which was crazy.
Yeah. Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks for sharing that, Munz. I think that brings us towards the close of our conversation.
Dude, lovely chatting with you, man, because, it was not like, when did you guys meet kind of questions. Really nice questions, man. Thank you so much. Really
bro.
appreciate
Thanks
for
opportunity
to speak about all of this. Really
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything to shout out to the fans? You want to put a message in the end?
See, all this time, everyone was asking, like, where's the music? When are you releasing? Now we started releasing. So please go and check out the music that we are releasing. That's all we want.
Stay metal.
Yeah.